Vatos, thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. We are getting ready to install the saddlebags on the Sportster. I already went ahead and I fabricated some brackets, only because the original brackets are like 1.5 inches the offset, so I didn't want to see that huge gap. I went ahead and I got this from Lowe's. It's a mending brace or mending plate, and it's basically a 12-inch piece, and I already went ahead and I cut it down, so I have two 6-inch pieces. So, and basically I'm just trying to cut it, trying to even it out with the strut. So I'll show you what we got here. So these are the pieces I cut. As you can see, these would have to go on the outside of the saddlebag, and that's just going to help, you know, give it a little bit more structural support. It's going to be kind of sort of like this, and that's going to be on the outside. So instead of having this one, which is the one that comes with these saddlebags, you see that? You know, that's, like I said, that's a huge gap right there, and I don't think I was going to like the look, so I went ahead and I got two of these 12-inch mending plates, sorry. I'm hoping this works out. If this stuff does not work out, I'll have to, I guess I'll probably switch over to this, and then I'll have to make more holes, because yeah, these holes are not going to line up with these ones. So I mean, it just depends. If you're okay with that offset, you know, also keep in mind I have the exterior shock on the Sportster. So I mean, there's only so much I could really do with these saddlebags. I could run I could run them up a little bit higher, kind of like on the ST model, on the Lowrider ST. They sit up a little bit high, so it's gonna be a mixture of both. They're gonna sit a little bit high, and they're gonna somehow, you know, just kind of work all together. I'm hoping it's gonna look as good. If not, man, I mean, I'm just gonna have to make more holes on this thing. So like I said, the hole's gonna have to be like right here at the very edge because of the shock. It's angled. I don't want to angle these saddlebags because they're gonna look pretty funny. So this is just me in the head. I'm trying to figure this out. I've been thinking about this for a couple days now, and I think it's gonna work. I believe it's gonna work. We're gonna see what happens. So yeah, in case you're wondering what I cut this with, I cut it with a grinder, cut-off wheel, and I got a little sander so I could smooth it out, you know, make it look a little bit better. But let's see how this works out. I don't have any fabricating tools. I don't have a vice grip or anything like that. This is just basic hand tools. As you guys can see, I have a little Dremel right here. I mean, that's not the cutoff wheel that I use. It'll take you forever to do that. This is the one I used, grinder. So let's just go ahead, put this stuff together. I'm not going to be filming it step by step, so I'll just, you know, chime in every once in a while, let you guys know what's going on. Alright, let's get to work. Alright, so it's getting late. Just came back from Home Depot, and I wasn't digging the look of this bracket on the outside. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna put it on the inside. Hopefully this gives it enough, you know, structural support so the saddlebags aren't flopping in the wind. That was a complaint that I saw on in the comments. So I went ahead and I just used the cutoff wheel, cut that off, that corner, because I mean, it's like I said, there's not a lot of room here. It's really close to the edge, and as you can see, I mean, it used to dig into the corner of the saddlebag. Now by doing that, you know, I get it a lot closer, and now it cleans up the inside. I decided to go ahead and put these nuts on the inside so you don't see them on the outside. So it's just going to clean it up a whole lot more. And what I ended up doing, of course, cutoff wheel and a grinder. This is 80 grit disc cutoff wheel, and I went ahead and I cleaned up all my edges. This is the one that I originally cut off, so I went ahead and I just cleaned those up. As you can see, it looks a lot better. I rounded out the edges just to, you know, improve the overall look. And here's the other piece. So as you can see, you know, cleaned it up. It used to be a sharp edge. I also have a filer, but I wasn't gonna file this down, and that, I mean, that would have taken me weeks. This took me just a couple seconds. And I also did it for the bottom, of course, if you guys remember what it used to look like. Just cleaned them up, like I said, so I could get this as close as possible. Right over here, you see, now I could get it as close as possible and not have that corner dig into the saddlebag. And of course, I'm using a washer on the inside just to kind of give it a little bit more space. Yeah, these bolts are 3 inches, so I'll probably end up using more spacers because this is getting pretty close to the inside of the wheel. Home Depot didn't have the ones I needed. I'm using the ones I believe I do need are 2.5, so I'm just gonna keep on trying. These I believe are 2 inches, and these are 3 inches. So yeah, man, just multiple trips to Home Depot. I also had some spacers lying around, so these are the ones I'm going to be using for the back, because you guys remember the struts taper. They're tapered, so it's just to kind of give it a little bit more balance. I'm using these the spacer. This is a 1/4 inch spacer, and I believe this came with my Leather Pros. So I also ordered some on Amazon. They sell them by 10 pack. They're pretty cheap. They're about 11 bucks. I'll put it in the link. I got 1/4 inch and I got 1/2 inch just in case I need, you know, just to even out the bags a little bit. But I think this is going to help out quite a bit. I have the washer here and here, and you know, I think this is going to be enough, but I'll just have those extra you know, spacers just in case for some reason I'm going to need them. And of course, this is going to go on the inside of here just to kind of give it a little bit more support. Crank all this down, and hopefully the bags look, you know, they look decent, hopefully. So let's keep on getting this together, and now you guys know how I mounted these, and let's see how this works out. If anything, I'll probably put a spacer on the inside here just to kind of give myself a little bit room, or maybe I'll go back to Home Depot and try to locate these bolts. These ones, I believe this is 2 inches. Alright, let's get to work. Alright, so it's the next day. It took me a minute to get these installed, only because I was still fabricating how I was going to install these. I didn't want the bracket, like I said, to stick out. So the gap between here and here is maybe about, I'd say maybe 1 inch, because of course the fender actually it bevels towards the saddlebag here. So super clean, honestly. I think this looks a lot better than what you would get with the stock bracket. It's basically a invincible support. I kind of just made it out of just random hardware supplies. I have the spacer right here. This is a 1/4 inch spacer, and this is to compensate for the strut being tapered. So man, it looks really clean. I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments. You know, I also set them up high, so it's kind of, I'm calling it the Sportster ST. You guys see the ST, the lowrider ST, the saddlebags sit a bit higher than the rear fender, but I mean, I had to install it this way because of course the shocks are right here. I wanted to have enough clearance in case I bottom out, just so I don't destroy my saddlebags. So that's that. You could either, you know, install this out more and then in front of the shock, but then man, that's what, 4 inches, and imagine 4 inches back here. It would just look hideous. I mean, it would look absolutely terrible. But as far as, you know, being, you know, the whole bike moves. Look at this when I move it. So I already unlocked it. You guys can look at the inside. This is where I was gonna use these on the outside, but man, it's just, they don't look pretty. I don't have a like a machine shop or anything like that. This is just mending braces. You guys saw at the beginning of the video. Oh yeah, and everything's Loctite. Everything's Loctite. I put Loctite on everything, so I'm confident on putting, I'd say, what, 20 pounds in this thing. I'm pretty sure 20 pounds. Look it. I'm putting my weight on it, and you know, it's not bending that much. I'm confident in putting, you know, 20 pounds in these things and not being an issue. So that's that. I think they look pretty decent. They look pretty good. My brother likes them. You know, people on Instagram, I believe they like them. You know, for $100, these aren't bad at all. You know, after looking at it, I think I should have, you know, painted the inside, give it some design. I actually have a little bit of design underneath, as you can see right there. Yeah, I think I should have given it some detail, but I wasn't expecting it to mount it this high. Going off of my holes right here, this is 3 inches from the top. In case you guys are wondering, you know, how did I mount these? Man, it's pretty much simple. You just gotta measure twice, cut once, basically. So this is pretty much aligned with the fender, as you can see, pretty much aligned down there. After setting up the right one, I used those same dimensions and those same measurements. So this is at 3 inches, the one in the front. This one back here, this one's at 3 5/8, I believe. A little bit over half an inch. I think it's 5/8, 3 5/8. So then I just used that 3 5/8 off of, you know, the top right here to this point over here, and I gave myself that guide. And all I had to do was just line up this hole, put a pin right on the inside where this, you know, mounting bolt goes right here. I used the pin and I just kind of marked it, and that's it. That was marked at 3 5/8, and of course where the dot was, that was my drill point. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So just go off of the 3 inches over here, 3 inches over here. Then based off the right saddlebag, I got my measurements 3 5/8. So the bags are slightly angled. They're angled by 5/8 of an inch, kind of like this. And like I said, that's just mainly so in case I bottom out, you know, in case I bottom out, I don't destroy the saddlebags. These are ABS. The thickness on these, you know, I thought they were going to be like this thick. No, they're actually about, I say about 1/8 to 1/4 inch thick. So this is a thick plastic. I thought it was going to be, you know, thinner than that based off of this and how much it stretches, but the material itself, it's pretty durable. And yeah, based off what you see here, this is just stuff from these bolts are from the kit from the saddlebags, and these bolts are 5/16 bolts, 5/16. And of course here's another spacer, because this bolt is a 3-inch bolt. This bolt is a 2.5 inch. So if you're looking at doing this setup, all you really need is 2.5 inch bolts. And like I said, these are 5/16. And basically that's your strut. That's your strut bolts. That's the size of your strut bolts, is 5/16, 18 thread, 5/16, 18. Thanks for tuning in to yet another video. Stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.